From the Marine Corps chat room, where the girls in Betty's Brigade in Southern California, she comes forth and she says, Mr. Chapman, 28 years ago, I'm a toddler, and Mother was buying me Christmas presents. I'm now the mother, and I'm buying Christmas presents for my toddler. The problem I see is 28 years ago, my mother spent $10 to go out and buy a nice gift for me, and today I have to spend $80 to buy basically the same little doll, only today it's manufactured in China, and the doll that my mother bought me in 1984 was made in America. It has a lot more quality, and it's in the attic. It's one I cherish, and I don't want to give it to my daughter and have it tore up, because it's one of those rarities that people just like to keep. This is inflation to me. Is this exactly what you're talking about?
It surely is. That's exactly what we're talking about. And it's not going to get any better. It's going to get worse.
From the Marine Corps chat room, Mr. Chapman, I don't know if you had the opportunity to look into it, but my cousin in Chicago is stationed at the Great Lakes, tells me that there were thousands, if not tens of thousands, walking through the streets of Chicago protesting the banks, and the fact that the banks are getting bailed out and the people in Chicago are being foreclosed on and the communities are being ruined. He tells me of fellow Navy personnel that have friends and relatives in Detroit, that there are places in Detroit where whole city blocks the city owns because the banks won't even pay the taxes. How bad is it going to get, Mr. Chapman? These people in Chicago, they're ready to start shooting right now.
Well, that's probably good, because that's what it's going to come to anyway. And they'll send out the police, and they'll act like goons like they did in Pittsburgh recently. And they're all going to get themselves killed. Both sides. But, desperate people do desperate things. And people are fed up. And it's not only this Muslim you spoke of earlier, or whatever. I mean, it's going to continue to happen.
Mr. Chapman, I just got the word that $35 billion was. I just got the word that $35 billion was being spent by the 6 top banks of the American Banking Association after reforms, and they've accepted $17.8 trillion. They got $17.8 trillion. The American people, $17.8 trillion. I think the American people deserve a lot better representation than this. What's your feelings?
Well, we don't have any representation. I mean, every congressman, with the exception of a few, and the same in the Senate, they're all bought and paid for. So, if you can throw them, half of them out of office next time ever, that's fine. If you can get the bill to audit the Fed and investigate it passed, that's fine. If you can't, there's no place else to go but in the streets. And it's going to come.
Mr. Chapman, I make a living here in Wall Street. We the people can't resist. My problem is it pays my job. It pays my what job? It pays my expenses to work here. I would like to get out. Do you have a recommendation for me as a financial broker at a firm here, what I can do, where I can go? Because economy is what I was trained in here at the University of New York. This is the only job I know of. I've only been here 4 years. I'm 28 years old. Where do I go? Where can I make a living? Because now I see the fraud that probably you saw here, Emily. Now it's so bad, it's so ludicrous that these people have been stealing the American money for centuries, if not from the beginning. And the fraud is on the people that invest here in the biggest slot machine I've ever seen in my life.
Well, he's right, and the commission payouts are dreadful. You know, when I had my own firm, after all my costs, I would take home about 64% of the gross commission, and at that time I would pay my salesman 50%, which was high. And today the payout runs around 20%. And how a broker can make a living on that, I'll never know. And you know, the competition today is far greater than when I was in the business. They have discount houses, and so you know, the whole ball game is different. I think what the gentleman who asked the question should do is to go and get his clients into gold and silver shares. And that should be able to, you know, cut a niche out for him, like I did for myself. I was the biggest gold silver stockbroker in the world, and I started from zero. He obviously has clients, and you know, all he has to do is get a copy of the forecaster and email me and ask me the questions that are needed, and I'll help him. I mean, nobody knows more about the markets and gold and silver than I do in the world. And so there's your out. You know, if you can't escape New York City, or you've been trained only in finance, this is a way to be able to live with yourself and make people a lot of money.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. This is Drew Ray's and Bob Chapman, a Marines Disquisition, Thursday, the 29th day of October. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's Thursday, the 29th day of October, 2010. 80 years ago, the market fell. 80 years ago tomorrow is Black Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to America. Welcome back to a Marines Disquisition. Welcome back around the world to my fellow citizens, fellow Marines, Army, Air Force, Navy, Coast Guard. I will let you know I support you, regardless of where you are, what your job function is, because you're doing what you think was best. But I want to let you know right now, understand what the Constitution is, understand the Declaration of Independence, get yourselves a constitutional handbook if you can afford it. Call your congressman, get several copies, carry it around, pass it around. Yes, you come under the Uniform Code of Military Justice, but I got news for you. The Uniform Code of Military Justice is mandated with a constitutional guidelines. So you do have rights, and understand that we have got a amount of problem out there. It's up to you. You've got to be on the firing line up front, and if things continue as bad as they're going down in Detroit, as bad as they're going down in Miami, as bad as they're going down in California, I got news for you. They're going to bring, many of you are going to come right out of Iraq or right out of Afghanistan or right out of Korea. You're going to be coming back here to the United States of America and placed on the streets. And, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a bloodbath. So you need to prepare for yourself. A little over 100 years ago, honest women, walked through the countryside across America with with a coin in their pocket. It was worth $2.5. It was an Indian gold coin, $2.5, not much bigger than a dime. It's $2.5. Today, that Indian head gold piece, $2.5, is $149 if you can find anybody that wants to sell one. The man that knows about gold and silver is Mr. Bob Chapman. Welcome back to the show.
I am here.
You're
right about the coins. The coins will always reflect over a period of time the value of things that are going to happen, and you can be assured of that. It comes in cycles, and you might have a hiatus or 10 or 15 or 20 years, but gold will always return to the real value of purchasing power. And that's borne out by what you just said.
Very true. From the Marine Corps chat room, we have a gentleman that comes in here. Mr. Chapman, gold is on the precipice of either collapsing or skyrocketing with a rocket, depending on who you talk to around the world. The Indians aren't buying gold anymore. What's going on? Is gold going to go up, or is it going to go down, or are they going to force it to go down so the elitists can buy more gold with the false money that they've stolen from the American people?